What's up, Dice Crew? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now we got Trap Lord Ross, ADAM22, up at the Hoffa show with Hoffa in Mecca, and the conversation is pretty much all about Trap Lord Ross making those type of documentaries he be making pertaining to people like King Von and Tay Savage and so on, you know. Now the titles to me had definitely seemed kind of interesting, so I want to tune in and see what they got to say. Especially this is a total different setup that I'm used to seeing, you know, everybody in, you know what I mean? The different type of settings, I should say. So, you know, shout out to Hoffa for putting this stuff together, and let's see what they got to say. I'm gonna keep it a Benji for y'all during my reaction. Y'all keep it a Benji for me in the comments. Shout out to the Dice Crew, and shout out to the sponsors. Y'all are damn bullies. I'm gonna have a link in the description so y'all can tune in with them. Let's rock.
I feel like the earlier videos,
but the earlier
you were
videos,
trolling these guys.
But
like,
I was never doing
you
the
guys are
Chicago
stupid.
thing. I was never doing the Chicago thing back then.
Right.
I was more doing like 50 Cent and Rick Ross beef, clowning them type shit.
Right.
It was funny because once I started doing the gangster shit, I stopped doing the jokey, laughy academics shit. The first time I did a real serious story, I think I did the one that really popped off was the War in Jacksonville, the Who I Smoke shit.
Right.
And that shit, I was like, this ain't funny. There ain't no jokes to get off in here.
And that's when your video.
And you know what? I know I kind of feel, you know, I'm probably like behind with that, but I have always meant to kind of tune in with all the Jacksonville stuff, the songs and all that. And for some reason, I just never really dove into it, you know what I mean? And, you know, shout out to all them dudes. It's just like I never had a chance to really get off into it, but they pretty much like, you know, they was on some like new wave, drill type music type dissing and all that stuff. And, you know, I gotta kind of get caught up with that.
Started having like the long
story. I think I did the one that really popped off was the War in Jacksonville, the Who I Smoke shit.
Right.
And that shit, I was like, this ain't funny. There ain't no jokes to get off in here.
And that's when your videos started having like the long introduction that kind of like really tries to explain that you're not trying to glorify it, and the long thing at the end explaining it. And even like a lot of times now I see you doing shit where you'll like really break down like how this.
You know what? I'm gonna just say this. Shout out to ADAM22 for being a good friend. I guess that's what he called himself being, but he definitely just stood in and gave Trap Lord Ross like, you know, some defense.
Area that these people like really tries to.
Who I Smoke shit.
Right.
And that shit, I was like, this ain't funny. There ain't no jokes to get off in here.
And that's when your videos started having like the long introduction that kind of like really tries to explain that you're not trying to glorify it, and the long thing at the end explaining it. And even like a lot of times now I see you doing shit where you'll like really break down like how this area that these people were raised even ended up so impoverished in the first place, which I do think is like, that's really great additional context that realistically, like I'm so familiar with so many people that do what he does, and I see most of them being like very callous and like not having the detail, the attention to detail that he has.
Condescending in the report.
Yeah, like his shit is, I just take it so much more serious. And there's a shitload of people in Chicago that do this sort of thing. And to me, to my ears, it sounds like they basically are just like people who are living in these neighborhoods who just like get their information from some guy who just like spoke to people. His shit is all sourced off of the internet, because like even if he had a guy in the DMs who would say King Von killed this person, it's like, how do you ever like vet this source? Or like, you know, the stuff that's available on social media, the way he pieces all that together, I respect it because this is all public record, you know? It's not like he's guessing, or he's not like.
You know, every time, and again, let me just, you know, make that a point again that, you know, Adam is definitely holding the floor down. I don't know why he's not letting Trap Lord Ross speak, but he definitely defended him, which, you know, like I say, I'm saying it again, I guess he's being a good friend. Shout out to Adam for that. But whenever it come up and I speak on any of these things with Trap Lord Ross, I want to make sure, like, I always make sure that I give him his flowers. I understand he puts a lot of work and energy in his videos and his documentaries. It's very interesting. It's probably education to very educational to other individuals and whatnot. But I don't feel like it's like just because he finds a lot of information with people that's public, whether it's in somebody's song, tweets, whatever it may be, you know, I just always feel like it's a problem because the way he delivers things, you know what I mean? Like the way he would just make everything have to be a fact. sometimes. And if you see him in these interviews and stuff, like with people, like we just dropped a video with Vlad, he defends and he try to make it seem like just these things is facts. And I feel like that's where most people get offended at, you know? Like if he was just covering stuff and speaking on stuff like, wow, this is crazy, or man, what y'all think? Y'all think that was true or not? I think people definitely kind of like rock with him a lot more. I understand he got a big fan base, but I just feel like a lot more people will find it more, you know, tasteful. You know what I mean?
No, he might be guessing about the conclusion, but when he shows you a kink, you know, the stuff that's available on social media, the way he pieces all that together, I respect it because this is all public record, you know? It's not like he's guessing or he's not like, you know, he might be guessing about the conclusion, but when he shows you a King Von tweet, it really was a tweet that he posted.
But if I was a serial killer rapper, I would hate you, bro. I would hate you. I'd be like, yo, this mother.
But I don't think it's really like his job to be well liked, and I don't think he can do a good job.
Conspicuous with this
well
shit. I thought I was on the low, like just dropping little hits, but you can't follow. Like
Von knew what he was doing though. Von wasn't on the low. I don't know. I feel like people rewrite history because it's like people like Von wasn't on the low, bro. When Von was around, Von was doing the most. Doing the shit with Dirk. You know, they caught that case together, talking about their on camera shooting. Like Von was doing the most. Even that interview with Charlemagne, that first appearance where Von's with Charlemagne, and like Dirk's like, yo, this is my guy. He's got a crazy story, and Charlemagne's like, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, I got body in 2 attempts. Like Von's proud of that shit. Von's rubbing it in Charlemagne's face. Charlemagne says to him, he's like, how you beat it? You didn't do it, right? And Von's like, nah, lawyer. Like, Von's basically, go and watch that interview back, bro. Von's basically saying, I did that shit to Charlemagne's face. Dirk's coughing, trying to get him to be quiet. Like, you watch that interview carefully, there's a lot going on, and Von was doing the most, bro.
I mean, that story is so crazy that nobody should be surprised that somebody had to emerge to really, like...
And at the same time, it's like, see how he was just so strong about that? Now, I feel like, can that be the possibility? Yeah. But it's some other possibilities. Like, what about if, like, Von just was new to the camera? You know, Dirk was a lot more experienced at that time. Maybe he felt like, you know, don't give him all the sauce right now. Or maybe, you know, don't drive people away right now. Or whatever the case could have been. But, you know, Von was new to the camera. And I just feel like you don't even give out no other options on what could have actually been taking place. You just stick to it being, you know, this is just this, and this.
Document that shit. To me, I feel like hip-hop's lucky that they got somebody who actually has like a real dedication to the truth, because there's a lot of other people making videos like this that are just kind of
just making shit up.
You know?
I try and do it in a sensitive way. I know a lot of people don't rate me, and I know, you know, we're going back and forth, but it's like people will put the jacket on me like I'm one of the channels that's just going like, yo, and this guy smoked this guy and he's got hella bodies. But I try and do it in a sensitive way. But at the end of the day, there's going to be people making content on this stuff because this is what's going on. Drill. I didn't invent drill music. Like that shit was there, and like I.
And you know, another thing that I will give Trap Lord Ross some flowers about, and I mean, maybe he do want clout and want to be known or be famous, whatever. But I give him credit for like putting out a lot of distasteful work, but he put his face and himself out there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, especially like on the California tip, it be a lot of people putting out a lot of information about gang stuff and, you know, a lot of crimes and stuff that took place and speak on beefs between certain gangs and whatnot. And you don't know who those people are. They don't got no face. They don't put their name out there. You know, some of them be making fake voices and whatnot. So, you know, I will give him that much. I give him some flowers on that. Now, maybe today it might be flowers, but if something go wrong, I mean, some people might look at it like, man, he was stupid for that. I don't know.
Looking through it. That's my job, is to just positive way. But at the end of the day, there's going to be people making content on this stuff because this is what's going on. Drill. I didn't invent drill music. Like that shit was there, and like I start looking through it. That's my job, is to just put across the facts, not to like try not to hurt people's feelings. And realistically, bro, we're talking about Von, like. Bro, I'm on the side of let's like not kill people. I feel like killing people is bad. Like I'm a throw man. I don't know if that's controversial, but like I feel like you know.
But you have a serial killer or a proclaimed.
I know it's crazy.
On the back of your foot.
It's one of my favorite artists, and it changed my life. So that's why I got him there.
You can love somebody, your life, even if they kill a bunch of people.
Because the Von thing just put me on the map basically, and like you know, and I'm a huge fan of Von's music, and just I don't know, it's just meant something to me, man.
Well, you benefited from the fact that he killed people. Directly.
And, you know, shout out to Mecca because that's a good point. You know what I'm saying? And that's a real deep question, thought to have, and I feel like we got to see what Trap Lord Ross' response gonna be to that. But I want to take a time out and just see, you know, what can be a good response on that myself, because that was definitely a good fact in the matter. You might not like it, but that is a fact in the matter. Like, you wouldn't have no story if these alleged crimes or situations actually, you know, wasn't out there for you to turn into content.
Was the most benefiting. He was killing people and rapping about it, music, and just, I don't know, it's just meant something to me, man.
Well, you're benefiting from the fact that he killed people. Directly.
He was the most benefiting. He was killing people and rapping about it and making millions.
Now, see, that shows that Trap Lord Ross is not being 100% stand up, because the fact that you just, you know, pivot that angle to somebody else, you know, Mecca asked you a direct question. Why you couldn't give him a direct response instead of moving the situation, or I should say, you know, moving somebody else in the hot seat, and you talking about Von benefited off it the most. You couldn't even, first off, you know, it's not cool for you to just point the finger or pivot the situation towards somebody else when you the man that they're asking the question. You gotta be a stand-up man. Second, what do you even think? Like, it doesn't even sound smart to try to say like, oh, Von benefited off it the most. That's Von's lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Whether he do something wrong, right, whether it's lies, true, whether whatever it may be, whether he got to answer for certain stuff or not answer for certain stuff, that's his life. He has the right to benefit off of anything that has something to him, about him directly. So I just feel like that was strange for Trap Lord Ross to say.
Music and just, I don't know, it's just meant something to me, man.
Well, you're benefiting from the fact that he killed people. Directly.
He was the most benefiting. He was killing people and rapping about it and making millions.
You're benefiting.
So you're like you're Robert F. Kennedy to Hoffa.
I like to see.
And you know what? I didn't even catch that part. But did y'all hear his delivery on that? He said he was killing people, rapping about it, and benefiting off of it. That's why I say he be so just, you know, just very distasteful with his delivery. You know, maybe you can believe that. That's fine. But at least he doesn't even say, like, to me or I believe. He, like, it's just a fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know Von was actually killing people? I mean, sometimes we got to live in reality, too. And when I mean speaking on reality versus hearsay and what a person say. You know, facts is what is reality. What you actually know yourself, you don't have to get second, third, fourth, fifth. You could get it from the direct, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You could see it. Because I just be feeling like this. You know, once you say somebody don't tell no lies, that means you got to take everything they say as true. You know, and I want to say, like, remember the whole situation with King Von requesting PC and was saying that he was on some rainbow type stuff? You know, I want to say Trap Lord Ross also said that he didn't believe that about Von, but that came out his own mouth. So I feel like once you start saying, you know, it's no room for error, a person don't lie or twist things or troll, everything they say is facts, and you got to take it for facts because that's in their music, then you got to start taking everything they say. If they just a walking, honest machine, and I'm not saying what's true or what's not, me personally, because I just don't know.
It's like I'm benefiting from like
Directly.
he was the most benefiting. He was killing people and rapping about it and making millions.
You're benefiting.
So you're like you're Robert F. Kennedy to Hoffa.
I like to see it as like I'm benefiting from like quality journalism. Like in the same way you could say, well, CNN's benefiting from the war in Gaza and Palestine, right? And it's like, really?
No, but you're covering
Really?
what you covered one specific dude and it blew up. Like so.
No,
You
you
I covered a
Some
lot of
people.
stuff. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff.
yeah, but let's not split here.
But that's the biggest one. Like, I'm gonna
Exactly.
cap
So
like
let's
that's
not
the
let's
biggest
not
one.
talk as if
But
that's
everybody
not the thing.
deserves to be paid for their hard work.
I didn't say anything about that.
But
And, you know, I think the conversation is a little bit confused between both parties. But what Adam said is a fact, too. You know, everybody deserves to get paid for their hard work. And, yeah, Trap Lord Ross is benefiting off of everything that got to do with King Von. But on the other hand, he also is benefiting from his own hard work. You know, he put all that stuff together. He take the time out to put this and that together, to research this, to have, you know, everything he do. So it is a split situation. You know, he's benefiting off of Vine life and also off of his own hard work. Kind of just like me doing reaction videos, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm also benefiting off whatever other people are doing in their content or in their world or whatever in life, but I'm also benefiting off of my hard work on my delivery, my feedback, or, you know, just speaking on certain things, or however it go with edits and arts and, you know, stuff like that. So I get it, but I feel like everybody in the room got to understand it, that it's both. You know what I'm saying? You get it for what you put together, and you also benefit off of their stuff.
Snitches.
Yeah, I got a lot
Well,
of
yeah,
stuff.
but let's not split here.
So that's the biggest one. Like, I'm gonna
Exactly.
cap
So
like
let's
that's
not
the
let's
biggest
not
one.
talk as if
But
that's
everybody
not,
deserves to be paid for their hard work.
I didn't say anything about that.
Even
But I'm
snitches.
Sure, yeah.
also not gonna call it what it's not.
Right.
I would say Von's benefiting directly off of murders that he really did, which is crazy. I would
but-
say I'm benefiting more from
No,
like,
all right.
Your
journalism.
benefit, like we
But
keep
yeah,
moving
but
the
you-
goalposts around.
just-
Your benefit.
let's be honest.
You've made pocket change in comparison to what both Vaughn and the label made.
Yeah,
But
Von
you
made it.
still
No,
have
true.
made.
You know, that was just not no stand-up stuff on Adam's behalf right there too, because Mecca just told him, let's not move the goalposts. What he's meaning is like, let's keep the topic on the man in the room and those who's being addressed and those who can defend themselves. The fact that y'all speaking on the label's not in there to defend themselves, and y'all speaking on King Von, you know, RIP to King Von, he's not around to express or defend himself. So it must be something wrong on what, like, is something wrong with what Trap Lord Ross does with those documentaries, and he knows that himself, because why else would he have a hard time just keeping the spotlight on himself? You know what I'm saying? Why are you shifting the conversation on King Von in the label and the same for ADAM22? I'm just saying, it gotta be something that they know that might, like, it's just, they feel it in their bodies, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I know it's not 100% accurate or right or whatever it may be on what we doing, but we gonna keep putting the spotlight on other people. It's like the Me Too thing. You know, people don't be a Me Too. If that's what you want to do what you do. If you doing it because that's what you like to do or what you want to do it. But don't be a Me Too. You know, don't be, oh yeah, cause I do it because they did it. Oh yeah, they did it too. You know, I did that, but they did it too. It's like, take your self accountability. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the biggest one. Like, I'm gonna
Exactly.
cap
So
like
let's
that's
not
the
let's
biggest
not
one.
talk as if
But
that's
everybody
not,
deserves to be paid for their hard work.
I didn't say anything about that.
Even
But I'm
snitches.
Sure, yeah.
also not gonna call it what it's not.
Right.
I would say Von's benefiting directly off of murders that he really did, which is crazy. I would say I'm benefiting more from
No,
like,
all right.
Your
journalism.
benefit, like we
But
keep
yeah,
moving the
but you-
goalposts around. Your benefit.
let's be honest.
You've made pocket change in comparison to what both Vaughn and the label made.
Yeah,
But
Von
you
made it.
still
No,
have
true.
made, like,
Right.
bro.
Yeah, but
I'm not.
Man, it don't matter if Trap Lord Ross made $5 and the label made $500 and King Von made $250. You know what I'm saying? You benefited. It ain't about if it's small change, pennies, crumbs, or nothing. You benefited. Take it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you go commit a crime for some money, you rob a bank or something like that, the judge ain't gonna sentence you based upon how much money, you know, just because you ended up with $200. You're gonna get charged for that armed robbery, for running in that bank, that federal building, waving that gun around, possibly, you know, controlling hostages and whatnot like that. I'm just painting, you know, like a fictional picture for y'all if y'all rocking with me. And you know, and you know, they gonna charge you up for all these possession of a firearm, strong arm robbery, possibly kidnap, controlling hostages and stuff like that. And you know, they're not gonna be caring about just because you had, you know, you was only $1,500 in there. They don't care.
We're not debating
But
that.
we're having a
We
But
keep,
yeah,
we
but
keep
but
moving the
you
goalposts around.
just
Your benefit.
let's be honest.
You've made pocket change in comparison to what both Vaughn and the label made.
But
Vaughn
you
made it.
still
No,
have
true.
made, like,
Right.
bro. But,
Yeah, but so-
I'm not.
but like-
we're not debating
But
that.
we're having a conversation now, and you're about to make money, right? So you're making money off of Vaughn right now.
no.
We all have the same expectation. Yeah, there's a reason why
Not the way you did.
There's a reason why you
Not the way you
in the
did.
first
Me, I'm not
place.
talking about.
And again, I don't like the fact that Trap Lord Ross and them can't take, honestly, be just stand up about it and take self accountability and deal with the heat theyself. But that is a fact too. You know what I'm saying? Like when Math Hoffa, when these clips go out and all that stuff, he's gonna benefit off of that. Just like it tuned me in, just because I'm like, okay, we back on this same topic again. Then at the end of the day, I'm gonna be benefited off of King Von. And it might be a little bit of nothing, however it may go. I might get views and stuff, whatever. But, it ain't about that. And we are just more benefit off asking you questions pertaining to what you do when it comes to Von. So, it's just we can't move the goalpost. And I'm not ashamed to take my accountability on however it go. But I just feel like just stop moving the goalpost, stick to the topic, answer these questions so we could get this show on the road.
Conversation now, and you're about to make money.
Pocket change in comparison to what both Vaughn and the label made.
Yeah,
But
Vaughn
you
made it.
still
No,
have
true.
made, like,
Right.
bro. But,
Yeah, but so-
I'm not.
but like-
we're not debating
But
that.
we're having a conversation now, and you're about to make money, right? So you're making money off of Vaughn right now.
no.
We all have the same expectation. Yeah, there's a reason why
Not
you're
the way you
talking.
did.
There's a reason why you're
Not the way you
in the
did.
first
Me, I'm not
place.
talking about.
Not the way you did.
Yup.
And you know what?
No.
Checkmate.
I can't knock it.
Absolutely not.
Yo,
There's a reason why you're talking to him, and there's a reason why you're talking to him about this.
Let's give the revenue from this
Yeah,
show to Vaughn.
yeah, there's a
Vaughn's
reason.
great.
We're
Right.
media. This is what we do, right? We're here. This is what we do.
Me too, man.
However,
We're all guilty of the same thing.
however, right. There's certain things
That's
that you
not
say
true
on your
either.
show that some superstar might feel a certain way about it, and they'll be like, well, "I don't fuck with dude because he said this on a," this is what we deal with, But in your case, I appreciated when you trolled motherfuckers.
Back in the day.
Because I felt like, yeah, you're in the UK and you can see how stupid this shit is. You know what I mean?
I never trolled gangsters though. I feel like people get that twisted. I was trolling 50 Cent and like I was trolling Rich the Kid and Lil Uzi. I never trolled the gangsters. One, that's some dumb shit trolling the gangsters. Like I ain't trying to make
You
money.
can't say 50 and Rick Ross ain't gangster.
Yeah.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. ADAM22 definitely spoke what I was thinking right now. Cause I was wondering, like, who are you, Trap Lord Ross, to know who's a gangster and who's not? And you could be offending people possibly or not. But it's just like, I don't even know how old Trap Lord Ross is, but I think he just got a lot more mature thinking to grow and learn, you know what I'm saying? On his approach pertaining to people.
That's kind of tough.
It's a very different type of gangster.
And like I was trolling Rich the Kid and Lil Uzi.
You can see how stupid this shit is. You know what I mean?
I never trolled gangsters though. I feel like people get that twisted. I was trolling 50 Cent and like I was trolling Rich the Kid and Lil Uzi. I never trolled the gangsters. One, that's some dumb shit trolling the gangsters. Like I ain't trying to make
You
money.
can't say 50 and Rick Ross ain't gangster.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
It's a very different type of gangster.
Rick Ross, you're saying you can't say Rick Ross is a gangster?
I don't know, man.
I ain't
I think he was bringing that dog
around
food into the
gangsters.
prison, bro.
But
I
again,
can't believe that.
You're
That's
around
just-
gangsters.
I'm no gangster.
So
I'm not for
can
that.
you do a story on whether if Rick Ross was truly a CEO?
1090 just did that.
Yeah, somebody
Right.
killed it.
He was. However, some CEOs are straight up, and some of them are crooked.
That's what he said in his book.
It's convenient.
It's
I
convenient.
could believe that.
To say he knows the real Noriega, where was Noriega jail?
Yeah.
You think what, he owed me 100 favors? That could be fucking true.
Shout out to Math Hoffa. I feel like he keeping it a Benji right there, or at least just putting out other perspectives about that topic, because that's what I was putting out there. I had that conversation with one of my homies like 3 weeks ago when the whole 1090 Jake and the Rick Ross stuff hit the scene pertaining to that Drake drama. And I asked the homie the same thing, like, yo, do you think it could have been a possibility that he was on this and this and this and that when he was on the job? I mean, he say certain stuff, and again, I'm not saying we got to take what he's saying for truth or false or whatever. I don't know which one is facts. But I just feel like, can we actually just totally rule him out for saying, like, you know, he was, you know, because he might have not been a straight and narrow CEO. You know what I'm saying? He could have been doing what he doing. Because in life, you know, with some of these street situations and stuff like that, it's a lot of parts that got to get played and a lot of positions that got to get filled. So you never know how people are. And I'm only speaking on that because that's what Ross be putting out there as, you know, making people mind wonder. I wouldn't get on here and allude to him being pretty much like, you know, street individual portraying to be a CEO on behalf of negativity, doing criminal activity, unless he was saying these things himself. So I'm just opening up the conversation to think like, you know, what do you think maybe Dice Crew members, you know what I'm saying?
Could be true.
I could believe that.
To say are straight up, and some of them are crooked.
That's what he said in his book.
It's convenient.
It's convenient.
I could believe that.
To say he knows the real Noriega, where was Noriega jail?
Yeah.
You think what, he owed me 100 favors? That could be fucking true.
And you know, I don't know what this dude looked like, and they didn't show his face. But he got a song with The Dream, Rick Ross and The Dream, the singer. And I don't know why I can't think of it. I think, it's called Lil Havana, I think, right? But on the video, he got Willie Falcone in the video talking and shouting out Rick Ross, you know, giving Rick Ross his flowers. And, you know, Willie Falcone and them, and Sal and them, this was another Florida story pertaining to like drugs and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't know, like, you know, can Rick Ross actually be, you know, like real type cop, being filed into place, doing things that, you know, certain type of just being a real law type of dude, and Willie Falcone want to show him love or get on his songs and videos and stuff like that? I don't know. You know, that's just something we got to think about.
It could be true.
I never took that shit serious. I always took it as
Some rap shit.
just having fun with it. Same thing with Jay. Like,
But what if Noriega was in the jail that he's a CEO in,
right?
and he really owes him 100 favors?
I mean, that's cool. It feels like there would be like more supporting evidence, or like he would maybe have talked about it at length.
Or maybe not.
I don't know.
Not if
Maybe
he's not an idiot.
Yeah.
But what is he gonna?
Exactly.
What's
Shout out for Mecca for pointing that out, man. Because so many people think that everything got to be just so much proof, when the smartest individuals really leave less proof as possible, and they have less people to know about these situations as possible. So we in the time, we're not just in the time, but it's so many people that's loose. They expose anything they can expose. They repeat everything that's going on. They don't hold water. And that's how you know so many people business or they business, and they forget that it is another percentile out here of individuals that operate in the shadows, you know, private, you know, only give out what they feel like they want to give out, and don't just get on there and put out all kind of different stuff about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, shout out to Mecca for pointing that out.
It feels like there would be like more supporting evidence, or like he would maybe have talked about it at length.
Or maybe not.
I don't know.
Not if
Maybe
he's
not.
not an idiot.
Yeah.
But what is he gonna?
Exactly.
What's he gonna get in trouble for at this point?
At this point,
Conspiracy, all kinds.
That would be an amazing story if that was true. Why isn't that in the book? You read the book?
I read the book,
It's
yeah.
not in the book?
No.
Yeah, they didn't have it.
Okay.
No, but the way he frames it in the
We
book
just
is
talked.
he was like, I was doing little bits with my crew, and then someone went to jail, and I had to lay low for a bit, so I got the CO job. And then the funny thing is, he never said being a CO is how I got my connect. 50 came out when they were beefing and said Ross should have said that the jail is how he got his connect. Ross never said that. Ross said my boy got locked on the mad bricks we were selling. Okay.
well, why is he supposed to tell you that's how he got his connect?
No, but that's the thing. He never even said that. But that's what 50 was saying. But I feel like Ross, I believe Ross when he says it got hot for his crew and he got the CO job. But Ross never said that's how he got his connect. But that's the funny thing. I think people want to use that as an excuse for him, but he ain't even using that excuse.
But it's not. It's not even to use it as an excuse. That would be a testimony of a certain level of intelligence where I do not have to fucking tell people information that's going to get me locked up.
And shout out to Math Hoffa on that, because again, we go with these people that call themselves so-called journalists and stuff and whatever, podcasters, people on this content creator planet, and they just want everything that they hear to be a true fact. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's about like gang banging, music, drug dealing. All these people want to just act like they know everything from just taking 100 people words and whatever they just can gather from what's in the air out there. You know what I mean? And they think that, you know, everything ain't gonna be the truth out there. Everybody don't want the truth to be out there. You know, we come from a time to where it's like whatever took place at 6 o'clock, at 6:01, it better not never get spoke on again. Like, that's really a rule in the world, like in the life, you know what I'm saying? And people get caught up in the character with so many people just being loose with everything that they forget that that is one of the rules in life. Like, man, if it happened at 6:01, we ain't speaking on it ever again. That's the rules. And if you was there, you don't never speak on that ever again. If you just watched or seen something or saw something, you know what I'm saying? Or if somebody told you something, you don't repeat it. It's their business and they told you because it's their business, but it's not your business to repeat, so you just hold water. It's people like that. Like, you know, people overlook different type of stand-up individuals because there's so many loose individuals.
Jammed up.
But I feel like all these years later, I mean,
as an excuse, that would be a testimony of a certain level of intelligence where I do not have to fucking tell people information that's going to get me locked up or jammed up.
but I feel like all these years later, I mean, seriously, think he's still gonna get in trouble with that?
Bro, it's still unsettling. Like, if I had some of my homeboys in the shop, they'd be like, yo, back in the days, Math, I'd be like, yo, what you doing? Yeah, okay, we might not get in trouble for it, but it's just that era, you don't talk about that.
You could probably tell us all kinds of cool stories about shooting people that the statute of limitations is over, right?
One more time?
Like, you probably shot people that the statute of limitations is long since over, and you could just talk about it.
Now, you know, that's a difference, right? Because if you shot somebody and, you know, maybe you did the time or not, whatever, but it passed the limitations on that with the laws, but that's still a big different situation. Because if you shot somebody, then you pretty much just speaking on yourself or whatever it may be. If you get to talking about, like, back to the Rick Ross thing, like, you know, I was in the jail, he was in there, I did this, he did that, we did that, he did that. You can be putting out so many people's information out there that's just not a situation pertaining to you only. You know, and maybe, you know, you never know if that some of the things or how people was doing things is still a way they can do it. So they don't want to be a person who put a roadblock in front of those routes. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these things is like, once people run their mouth out here and put so much stuff out here on the music, podcast, whatever, they put a roadblock up. You got to figure out a new route on certain things.
Kinds of cool stories about shooting people that the statute of limitations is over, right?
One more time?
Like, you probably shot people that the statute of limitations is long since over, and you could just talk about it, but I respect that you
But why
aren't
would I?
going to do it.
Why would anybody do that?
I don't know. Why does anybody talk about anything? If you were one of the Chicago kids, you would for sure be talking about it.
Yeah, but that's not a smart thing to do.
And see, he just said something out of his own mouth that he overlooked, I bet. ADAM22 said, if you one of the Chicago kids, why are you like comparing adults' thought process to some kids? You know what I'm saying? Kids gonna make mistakes. A lot of things gonna occur. I mean, even adults make mistakes, you know? But just because something is, you know, you might find it nothing wrong with it, but other people might find something wrong in it. You know, you might find it like, okay, it's not stupid, but other people might find it like, yeah, that's stupid. So you got to look at it from all angles.
That you
But why
aren't
would I?
going to do it.
Why would anybody do that?
I don't know. Why does anybody talk about anything? If you were one of the Chicago kids, you would for sure be talking about it.
Yeah, but that's not a smart thing to do. I think we've established that.
But what would be the possible negative effect?